YouTube traffic, this is 345 Delta Foxtrot, ready to record another YouTube video. YouTube traffic. Okay, this is my standard disclaimer. Please take a few seconds to read it over. Okay, today's topic is primer for aluminum corrosion prevention, and this is part one of two parts. There's already a fair number of videos about using primer for aluminum corrosion prevention. This one is going to be a little different. We're actually going to do some experiments on various pretreatments in order to try and get the best primer results. The idea is to come up with a two-step surface pretreatment before you spray on the primer. Step one would be a cleaner degreaser step to remove dirt, fingerprints, Sharpie marks, oil, grease, anything similar to that. And step two would be something to remove the aluminum oxide layer and to perhaps roughen the surface slightly so that the primer gets good adhesion. I'm kind of modeling this after the Stewart Systems EkoEtch approach, which is I decided to use their primer. So I think in step two, we're probably looking for an acidic solution in order to remove that aluminum oxide. There's other pretreatments commercially available. I already mentioned the Stewart Systems EkoEtch. It's designed to remove Al2O3, and it's an acidic solution that slightly etches the surface and roughens it in order to get good primer adhesion. A somewhat different surface pretreatment is what's usually referred to as alodining. I believe that Henkel products purchased Alodine, and it's now called Bonderite. It's a chromate conversion coating. It's actually not a coating. Well, I mean, it is a coating, but it's not a spray coating like primer. It's more of a dip. And it's supposed to provide a fair amount of corrosion protection itself, and it's also supposed to prep the aluminum surface for primer. I don't have any experience with alodining myself, so I'm just telling you about it so that you're aware of it, and maybe you want to give it a try. If you want a more scholarly article about aluminum surface pretreatment, I'll refer you to this one, and I'll put a link in the description, but I'm not going to go into this article in any detail. Okay, so the idea was to take 12 aluminum pie pans and mess them up with Sharpie marks, masking tape residue, and an assortment of oil and greases, and then find a way to clean them. Okay, so here's an example of a pie pan after it's been messed up. Going from left to right, there's Sharpie marks on the far left, 3 vertical tic-tac-toe boards. Then there's a vertical stripe of penetrating oil. Then there's a vertical piece of masking tape. Then there's a vertical stripe of white lithium grease. And then there's another vertical strip of masking tape. And then there's a vertical stripe of 3-in-1 oil. And then there's some more Sharpie marks, 3 more tic-tac-toe boards written in Sharpie. So the idea is to remove the masking tape and then find a way to clean it up, get the best surface possible. Okay, so we're going to start off with just step 1, and that's the cleaner degreaser step. So this is what it looks like after soap and water. The Sharpie marks did not get touched at all. You can easily see where the masking tape was. You can't really see where the oil and grease were. Okay, this is after it was cleaned with Mr. Clean. And again, didn't touch the Sharpie marks. You can see the masking tape stripes easily. And you can't see any oil and grease residue, but that doesn't mean that there's not some there. Okay, this has been cleaned with Clorox cleanup, and it's starting to attack the Sharpie marks, and it's maybe improving the masking tape residue a little bit. Okay, this is after it's been cleaned with Formula 409, and Formula 409 is starting to remove the Sharpie marks, certainly not completely, maybe half to 2/3 of the Sharpie marks, and starting to clean up the masking tape residue a little bit. This is after isopropyl alcohol. It's 90% isopropyl, and that removed the Sharpie marks completely. Did a very good job on that, and it also did a pretty good job of removing the masking tape residue. So it's starting to look pretty good. And this is after it's been cleaned with Super Clean, which is a commercial degreaser sold at Walmart, and I think Harbor Freight sells it, probably other places. And it did the best. The Sharpie marks are totally gone. The masking tape residue is still there, but it's definitely been cleaned up substantially. So this is a summary. In terms of removing the Sharpie marks, the isopropyl alcohol and the Super Clean by far and away did the best. The Formula 409 was a distant third. And then in terms of cleaning up the masking tape residue and the grease, the Formula 409 and the Super Clean seem to do the best job. And this is a list from worst to best, and the best one, pretty much by far, was the Super Clean. And just as a note, I'm not sure exactly how significant this is, but the water was sheeting off the surface after the Super Clean, whereas it was beating up substantially on everything else. So it indicates that there's something different about the surface after the Super Clean. So what is this super clean stuff? It seems to do a pretty good job, but what is it? It's a cleaner degreaser made by Super Clean Brands. It's designed to remove grease, grime, oil, wax, dirt, tar, scuff marks, and stains, according to their website. If you look at the MSDS sheet, that's the Material Science MS data sheet. It says it contains a few percent of sodium metasilicate, a few percent of sodium hydroxide, which is a fairly strong alkaline solution. It's basically lye, and a secret surfactant of some sort. Okay, now we go on to two-step treatments, and Super Clean did the best on step 1. So all of the two-step treatments are going to start off with Super Clean followed by something else. And in general, it's going to be something acidic to remove the Al2O3 and to roughen the surface up a little bit so that the primer sticks better. Okay, this one is not acidic. This is Super Clean followed by a 3-minute soak in acetone, and it looks pretty clean, but as we'll see, things can be better. This is Super Clean followed by a 3-minute soak in white vinegar, and it turns out that's an acidic solution, but it didn't really end up working very well. Again, this one is not acidic. This is Super Clean followed by a 3-minute soak in isopropyl. Isopropyl did very well in removing the Sharpie marks, so I decided to try it again. I think isopropyl also is supposed to remove organic residue fairly well, so I was hoping that it would do a fairly good job in removing the oil and grease and the masking tape marks. This is Super Clean followed by a 3-minute soak in the EkoEtch. That's the Stewart Systems product for prepping aluminum. And that's the standard solution, 3-to-1 water to EkoEtch. And it's looking pretty clean. It looks pretty good. And this is Super Clean followed by a 3-to-1 EkoEtch with scrubbing. Just a sponge and Scotch-Brite pad to scrub it up a little bit. And you can see that the appearance of the pan is starting to change a little bit. It's getting less shiny, so it is roughening the surface a little bit. And this is Super Clean followed by a 3-minute soak in CLR. And this is one of the best. It has really cleaned things up, and it is definitely starting to roughen up the surface, and the appearance is much more of a matte appearance than a shiny appearance now. So these are the results of the two-step pretreatments, from worst to best. And the best was the Super Clean followed by either the CLR or the EkoEtch. It was kind of a three-way tie there, with the EkoEtch plus scrub, and the CLR. So the CLR seemed to do pretty well. And so what is this CLR stuff? CLR stands for calcium lime rust, and it's designed to remove calcium lime and rust. It's a acidic solution. I believe in the old days it was basically phosphoric acid based, but now everything pretty much needs to be phosphate free. So I looked up the composition. It's about 15% lactic acid, about 3% gluconic acid, about 2.5% auramine oxide, and the remainder is water. And I'm not real sure about this composition and these numbers, but I believe that should give you a pretty good idea of what it actually is. Okay, that's it for part one. If you made it this far, I highly recommend that you watch part two. In part two, we're going to apply the primer and see how these 12 pipe hands came out after the primer was applied. And so that's really the most interesting part. For the YouTube algorithm, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment. And thanks for watching.